Some of the deepest betrayals you will ever experience in your life will not come from strangers. They will not come from people who hate you openly. The real danger, the real trap and warfare comes wrapped in a smile and in beauty, in a person who looks like your blessing. A honey trap is not just someone who uses you romantically. A honey trap is someone who was strategically placed in your life to drain you, distract you, destroy you, and to stop you. Have you ever met someone who came into your life and everything started falling apart? Have you ever met someone who felt like a soulmate at first, but later became the greatest source of confusion you've ever experienced? Have you ever loved someone so deeply, but the relationship felt like you were dying slowly, like your spirit was suffocating and your energy was constantly being stolen? Some of the people you call your lover, your soulmate, your twin flame are not there to build you. They are there to break you, not because you deserve it, but because your enemies know who you are. They know what you carry and what you are becoming. They know the light inside of you is getting stronger, and they sense something to try to turn it off. A honey trap is not accidental. A honey trap is when someone enters your life and their mission is to obtain information about you, study your weaknesses, drain your energy, ruin your confidence, sabotage your purpose, distract you from your destiny, destroy your peace, and leave you emotionally, spiritually, and mentally empty. And the scary part, they don't always look evil. In fact, a honey trap usually comes in the form of exactly what you've been praying for. Because if the devil came to you looking like the devil, you will run. If destruction came with a warning sign, you will avoid it. Honey traps don't come with warning signs. They come with sweet words, affection, and chemistry. Because your enemies know something about you that you may not fully know about yourself yet. They know you were chosen and becoming conscious, and they want to stop you before you fully become who God created you to be. So they send a distraction, a counterfeit lover. The honey trap's job is simple: get close enough to you to steal your light. They did not come after you because you are nothing. They came after you because you are becoming more aware. You may not even realize it, but people can feel it. Even demons can feel it. That's why some people meet you and immediately feel uncomfortable, because your presence exposes what they try to hide. Your energy triggers their insecurities. Your confidence triggers their jealousy. When someone is possessed by envy, jealousy, insecurity, ego, and self-hate, they cannot love you properly. They can only compete with you, drain you, try to dim you. And that's why honey traps exist. Because there are people in this world who are not living in the spirit. They are living in darkness. They don't want to climb out of it. They want to pull you into it. That's why some of you were doing fine until that person entered your life. Then suddenly your mind became foggy. Your spiritual fire started fading. That wasn't coincidence. That was assignment. Some honey traps are not just toxic people. They are people who are spiritually possessed. Their mind is controlled by demons of envy, jealousy, manipulation, deception, and destruction. They cannot control it. Their demons are threatened by your light. They will love you one day and hate you the next. They will praise you in the morning and insult you at night. You are dealing with a person who is fighting something inside themselves, and they are using you as the battlefield. That is a honey trap, because the goal is not love. The goal is to destabilize you. And once they get you doubting the voice of God inside of you, they can control you, because a person who doubts themselves will mistake abuse for love. And that's exactly what the honey trap wants. Honey traps come in fast. They don't build slowly. They rush commitment and emotional bonding. They rush you into opening up and telling your secrets, because the faster they get access to your heart, the faster they can get access to your energy. Not everyone who compliments you is for you. Honey traps don't just want your body, your spirit, your loyalty. They want access, and they will pretend to be everything you've ever wanted until you give them the key. Then the real person shows up. A honey trap will give you affection like a drug, and then they disappear. They become cold, withdraw, they ignore you. They start acting like you are not enough, and you will start chasing them. You will start working harder for love that used to be free. You will start shrinking, and that's the goal. They are trying to control you emotionally. They dangle affection in your face. One day they treat you like loyalty. Next day they treat you like trash, and you keep hoping the sweet version comes back. But that sweet version was never real. It was a mask, and once you are hooked, they start draining you. Sex is not just physical, it is spiritual. Sex is an energy exchange, and honey traps use sex as a spiritual transaction. They will sleep with you, not because they love you, but because they want to drain you. They want to transfer what's inside of them into you. And after you sleep with them, you start feeling different, emotionally unstable, spiritually disconnected, and you don't know why. But it's because you connected your spirit to someone who is carrying demons, and now you are carrying what they carry. The more you keep giving your body to them, the weaker you become, until eventually you won't even recognize yourself anymore. Everything becomes drama. Slowly, you start living in survival mode. You start losing sleep and start losing yourself. This is a spiritual warfare, because love does not destroy your peace or make you anxious all the time. Love does not leave you emotionally bleeding. Honey traps do. Honey traps love financial destruction, because money is energy. If they can ruin your finances, they can control your life. Some honey traps will guilt you into paying for everything. Some will manipulate you into supporting them. Some will sabotage your career. Some will just create so much emotional chaos that you can't even think straight enough to build. Suddenly, your savings disappears, and you are wondering how you went from motivated and focused to financially unstable. And if you are not careful, they will leave you with nothing and walk away like you meant nothing. That is their mission. Honey traps are dangerous because they don't just destroy you privately, they try to destroy how people see you. They will twist your words, tell half-truth. They will go to people behind your back and poison your name because their goal is not just to hurt you. Their goal is to isolate you completely. They will act like you were the problem. A honey trap will ruin your name and then pretend they don't know why you are hurting. They'll stab you and then ask why you are bleeding. That is spiritual manipulation. Your spirit knows. You will notice when you are around a honey trap, you stop praying. You stop hearing God clearly. You feel spiritually numb, drained after conversations. You feel heavy after intimacy with them. You feel anxious for no reason and feel your intuition shutting down. That is not normal. That is your spirit warning you. They'll try to make you ignore the quiet warnings, and they'll succeed if you keep silencing your spirit to satisfy your emotions. God is not silent. God speaks, but He speaks quietly through your spirit. God speaks through that strange feeling you get when something does not feel right. He speaks through the moment you catch them in a lie and your stomach drops. God has already warned you about them, but you stayed because you were emotionally attached. You stayed because you thought love could change them. God will never send you someone who destroys your spirit and kill your peace. One of the reasons honey traps are so difficult to escape is because they create emotional addiction. They give you highs and lows. They give you love, then pain, affection, then rejection, attention, then silence, and your nervous system becomes addicted to the chase. You don't realize it, but you start confusing emotional chaos with love. And the more they hurt you, the more you want to prove your worth. The more they pull away, the more you want to win them back. They know exactly how to make you forget the pain, just long enough to keep you trapped. Every time you go back to the honey trap, you lose a piece of yourself, and eventually you will wake up one day and realize you gave years of your life to someone who was never assigned to love you, only assigned to drain you. Honey traps don't stop on their own. They don't suddenly wake up and become safe. They are on assignment, and they will complete that assignment unless you remove yourself. And that means cutting them off completely, not halfway, because a honey trap does not need full access to destroy you. They only need a doorway. They only need one conversation, and then you are right back in the trap. If God tells you to walk away, walk away. Don't look back, because the moment you start seeing clearly, they will try harder to pull you back. They will pretend they changed, but it's not change, it's desperation. Because they can feel you waking up, and when you wake up, they lose access. You cannot keep having sex with a honey trap, because every time you connect with them physically, you connect with them spiritually. And every time you connect with them spiritually, they transfer what's inside of them into you. And you wonder why you feel drained after having sex with them. It's because you are sleeping with a spiritual parasite. You are exchanging energy with someone who is feeding off your light, and you can't heal while you keep reconnecting to the source of your spiritual sickness. If you want your power back, you must disconnect from the honey trap, fully, not partially, because your spirit deserves to breathe again. Once you survive a honey trap, you learn that you don't just jump into relationships because someone is attractive or gives you attention. You don't just commit because someone makes you feel special. You bring your love interest before God. You pray, you listen, you pay attention to how they treat you when they are angry and when you say no. You pay attention to whether they respect your boundaries and support your purpose, because a real partner will add to your life and water your spirit. A real partner will cover you and bring peace. If someone enters your life and suddenly your peace disappears, your finances fall apart, your spirit becomes heavy, that is not love, that is warfare. They came to destroy you and leave you for dead. But here's what they did not realize. God is watching. God heard every private conversation, every lie, every tear you cried. God saw every time you ignored the warning voice and you stayed when you should have left. The trap was supposed to finish you, but God stepped in and exposed it. If you are watching this video right now, it's because God is speaking to you. God is trying to wake you up. God does not rescue people so they can stay stuck. He rescues them so they can rise. When you start pulling away from the honey trap, they will come back stronger. They will suddenly act like the person you fell in love with. Because the moment you stop feeding them, they panic. Because they were feeding off your light and your energy. And when you cut off their supply, they feel it. But you must stay strong. Sometimes the final test is not the attack, it's the invitation back into the same trap. If God told you to leave, leave. Because your destiny is more important than your emotions. Your calling is more important than temporary affection. And you will never lose what God truly has for you. Awareness is the beginning of deliverance. And once you see clearly, you cannot unsee it. Once you recognize the pattern, you cannot pretend it's love anymore. Sometimes what you thought was love was a trap designed to stop your purpose. And if you are listening to this video right now, God is giving you strength, the confirmation, and the final push. You have a calling in your life, and the enemy does not attack what is useless. The enemy attacks what is powerful. So don't hate yourself for what happened. Don't feel ashamed for loving deeply. Listen to the voice of God inside of you. Anytime you ignore God's voice, you make mistakes that could have been avoided. God has never left your side, and even though they tried to destroy you, they failed. Pray again. Move with discernment. Move with God, because the next season of your life will not be about survival. It will be about elevation, and nobody sent to destroy you will be able to follow you into the place God is taking you. Your enemies tried, but God protected you. And now it's time to protect yourself too. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you.